Hooters, as you can see. A little bit different today. Riding alongside my man Nick Alessandrini. I'm Patrick Gariantes, and welcome once again into 302 Sports Weekly. Benny's tied up in the moment today, will not be able to join us today, but no fear, man. Got Nick A with me, man.
You got to keep the show rolling.
And Nick, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good, ready to be back, ready to be back on the desk, excited to get it going.
That's it, man. So tonight we're going to enter the world of boxing once again. We're going to talk to a Golden Gloves winner and Israel Turner. We'll talk to a local high school fighter and Nia Smith and their trainer Ray Jones in advance of their next bouts coming up here soon. So we'll take a look into them. We're going to be on set here in just a little bit. And we're also going to take a look once again, as we always do, with the rankings of girls soccer, D1 and D2, as well as baseball and softball, as well as lacrosse, and our players of the week. And Top Plays is going to make a reappearance here this week. But before we get started, we have to thank our sponsor once again, Hooters, right here of Newark. We'd like to thank Gary and Nick for allowing us to have the show here every week. Make sure you come out here to Hooters of Newark, located at 136 in the Astro Shopping Center. Support them and enjoy some of the world-famous wings here, Nick.
And remember, if you have any highlights, scores, stats, or anything else you want to share with us, feel free to email us at 302sports@gmail.com. Hit us up on the website, 302sports.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You guys already know the drill by now. We're getting a lot of responses on Twitter. Keep that up. So keep it going.
All right, so now it's time. Let's introduce our guests here. We have with us on set Israel Turner, Nia Smith, and Mr. Ray Jones. Thank you guys for joining us.
Nice to be here.
Obviously, there we go, little flowers. Wait for you guys to give me applause. There you go, all right? All right, so Israel, 178 pounds. You're a local guy from Dover. You just defeated Leonard Poe out of Hillcrest Gym to win the Washington Golden Gloves Championship. Can you talk a little bit, first of all, just about that experience and how special that was for you?
I felt that fight over the weekend was a fight of all of my training I put in throughout the whole year and 5 months that I've been working out. It meant a lot to me. My mother was there, first time seeing me fight, and when she told me that she was going to be there, I felt that I already won. I was just pumped, and I believed in myself, and I knew that this time and this year was mine, so it was great.
And now, Israel, for all the guys that don't know you out there, give us some background information on you and your career and stuff like that, and how you came to be here.
Well, a few years back, I strictly weightlifted, and the gym that I attend, Dover Gym, they have the boxing program is in the back, and I was working out with my cousin one day, and I figured, I'm going to go back there and I'm going to see what this boxing's about. I'm going to give it all I got and take it as far as I can. And that's pretty much just the start of it. I know, my younger years, I had my backyard fights, my friends and stuff. And, those fights lasted, longer than they were supposed to. So I figured I'd be okay, boxing. But, being in the world of boxing, it's been a journey, and it wasn't what I expected. I got myself into something, and I know I'm just going to push through it, and I'm enjoying it and loving it. So
that's good. That's good. And Ray, you're from your own Ray Jones Boxing Group out of Dover, Delaware, is where you guys are based. Can you talk a little bit about the Ray Jones Boxing Group and how it came to be, and a little bit of the backstory on that?
Well, when I started training boxers back in 2003, I noticed that the kids that were participating in the Dover area, a lot of our Delaware kids weren't getting to national competition. So I got the idea to develop a group that will be concentrating on raising money and generating the funds to get them to national competition, because these two here, they're Olympic caliber. And that's our goal, is to get them to the Olympics. But you have to do that by getting them to national competition so they can establish points, get on these USA teams and travel with these USA teams. So we're going to be doing that by throwing boxing shows. Also trying to help people establish careers in boxing if they want to referee, become a judge. We have a whole system that I devised, even with their training. Their lead trainer, Coach Dwayne Obi, he's at the gym now with the boxers, because that's our concentration, is to keep them working. Then we also have a strength and conditioning coach, Anthony Sutler. So it's a whole system. We're steamrolling right now. Around July, we're going to start gaining a lot of momentum because we have a lot of partnering with people that are in the boxing world that are watching our fighters. I've already been talking to promoters in case he goes pro a lot earlier. Like I said, it's a team effort, and it's an idea of being able to compete with the politics of boxing. So, and that's our our goal. Their hard work, their rewards. And so with us, it's all about the box.
And I was going to say, Ray, you touched on it a little bit there, but what separates Israel and Naya and your group in general from people that you train apart from other groups? What makes them special? And just pretty much describes their early success and why they've had such success.
Number one is we constantly keep them grounded. When we feel like they're going astray, or we kind of get in their face and say, hey, you need to calm down a little bit. You need to get to training. You haven't been in the gym. Also, it's the amount of competition. They box twice a month. A lot of clubs, the boxers don't box maybe 3 months, every 6 months. They get a lot of work, and we review every fight, make sure that they know why they won, if they got in trouble, why they got in trouble. Try to make them students of boxing so they can be able to navigate their own selves in the ring, and we can be concentrating on their opponent, the things that they're doing wrong.
Naya, can you talk a little bit about your story and how you came to get into the sport of boxing and everything? And you're a young boxer, obviously. And can you just talk a little bit about that?
It was like when I was 15. Before I started boxing, I was like hot-headed. Like I didn't know how to control my anger, so I started with a few coaches. They wasn't training me right, so I was like, maybe boxing is just not for me. Until I met Coach Dwayne and Coach Ray, I started winning fights. But as far as that go, boxing just kept me out of a lot of stuff. It made me more humble, and I lost friends. Like I won't go out on weekends. I'm at the gym. I mean, boxing separates me from a lot of people. But at the end of the day, I'm worried about my career, where I'm going, and not them. I mean, as far as that goes.
And this one is for Israel and Naya. So young in your amateur careers, what can you say that's helped you out the most to get to this point, and how have your coaches, your trainers, and everyone around you helped you guys get here as well?
Well, what's helped me out is just honestly the people around me, separate myself from the negative people, and just constantly having people in my ear and telling me that I can do it, believing in me, with consistency, and it's just everyone, mainly my surrounding that I put myself in, has elevated me to where I'm at now, and I plan to be, on that top level. So, to everyone around me.
How about you, Naya?
Yeah, like Coach said, being on top of me and him, telling me to stay in the gym, that's what keeps me going, and my family and close friends.
Hey, Coach, or Ray, let's go to you right here. Upcoming bouts for these young fighters, I'm sure there's some challenges that are going to come up. How do you keep these two ahead of the curve and on the winning edge through a training perspective?
Well, a lot of our training, like I said, it's we concentrate on their weaknesses. It's hard for an athlete to improve their weaknesses because they don't want to dwell on it. It's fun to do the strong things that you do. So Coach Dwayne, myself, along with Coach Anthony, working with them, number one is strength, the ability to know boxing, and just having them ready, having their minds also ready. Because a lot of people go into competition and they're not truly focused. So I stress to them a lot, find out what makes you get focused. When I used to compete, I used to put hot towels cover my body up in hot towels and just lay there. And I didn't want nobody around me. But when I took those towels off, I was in a different zone. And I see Izzy starting to get in there. I see Naya when we're driving to the fights, she's getting in her zone. And I just like for the fighters to be mentally ready. And you can celebrate with family after it's over. But it's about them winning. It's about them working hard for something and getting what they deserve from it, and not letting their opponent walk away with the win. I truly stress winning with them and what they deserve. And I think it builds their self-esteem, like send their self-esteem through the roof.
And this one for Israel and Nye as well. Can you guys talk a little bit about your home gym and the Dover gym as well, and how the Dover gym has really played a role in how you guys have got to where you are?
One advantage that we have at Dover gym is that Dover gym is 24/7. It's open all the time. The difference between other boxing gyms is they actually close and they open. But our gym's open all the time, all day, every day. And Dover gym is just a big family. You go in, and you feel at home. I've been there since I started, and that's my home. So Dover gym, definitely.
How about you, Naya?
Yeah, we're open 24/7, so like when I get out of work, I can go there. I can count on going to the gym and one of my coaches being there to train with me. As if I were at another gym, they maybe train 2 to 4. 2 hours isn't enough. You feel me? You need more hours to train and get ready for a fight at different times.
All right, so you guys obviously have upcoming fights coming up. This is the last question for you guys. Can you talk a little bit about it, and how, if at all, you guys maybe have trained a little differently? Has there been a different approach? Is it more of the same? Just talk a little bit about how.
Well, they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And, I claimed 2018 as my year, and so far the 2 fights I've had have been both TKOs, and continue to keep pushing hard and going with my routine. I also did add swimming into it also. But I'm trying to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and I'm gonna keep on going.
How about you, Naya?
The only thing I'm gonna change is my routine. I feel like I gotta break down my workouts, like my run first, and then my strength and conditioning, and then mitt work, bag work. But other than that, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm ready to fight.
All right, well, just know that you're gonna have us in your corners here, supporting you all the way through. Best of luck this upcoming bouts. Thanks once again, Ray Jones, Ezra Turner, and Nia Smith for coming on. We'll be right back. We're going to jump right into high school sports. Right after this commercial break, you're watching 302 Sports Weekly.
No matter where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home. The pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, deck, kitchens, and bedrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go to the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements, quality workmanship from a neighbor.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offers exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on 302 Sports Weekly. Thanks once again to Ray Jones, Esri, and Naya for coming on, and best of luck to them. And great guests in there.
Yeah, and you can tell we got a very real family atmosphere over there at Dover Gym, and you can feel them having it up here. So good luck to them in their upcoming bouts.
All right, so now we're about to hop in here. Let's get back on the high school track. We're joined alongside now by Jason Winchell and Mike Lang. Guys, thanks for coming on. We're going to jump right in right here. Girls soccer. Let's go over some top 10s here. First, Division II. Number 1 will be Caravel. As you can see the graphic on your screen. Tower Hill, number 2. DMA, 3rd. Newark Charter, Archmere round out the top 5. And then 6, 7, and 8. We get 9 and 10. Our friends Delmar, Ursuline, Indian River, and Sussex Academy. To start off, some scores from last week. You see DMA defeating Friends 3-0. Alyssa Ruggieri with a goal and assist to pace the Seahawks. And then Tower Hill defeated St. Andrews 7-1 in that one. Isabella Pilsen had a hat trick in the win. Let's get right to it. In the top 2 teams, they're going to meet tomorrow. Tower Hill and Caravel. That's at 3:45. What does Tower Hill got to do to erase last year's result? Of course, Caravel won 3-0 on April 13th and 2-1 on June 3rd in the state title game. What do they got to do to keep the shutout streak going, Jay?
Caravel, they haven't given up a goal all year, and they're very tough. They got the best goalie, probably if not the state, probably the country, in Sydney Kell. She has been outstanding this year, making an average of 12 saves a game. Has really played well in the first 2 games. But Tower Hill's put up 7 in their first game, so they can score. But I think Caravel's, they played 2 top 5 teams to start the year, shut both of them out. They're hot. They're clicking on all cylinders early.
The top 10. Are there any teams outside the top 10 that you're looking at that could maybe find themselves in it real soon?
Absolutely. I'm looking at Sanford. They have a player back this year, Kendall Trickey. Missed last year with a knee injury. She's back. Sanford just keeps winning and winning. They defeated Ursuline, not reflected in this week's results. 1-0. They played. I can't remember who they played. I don't think they've lost yet. But I think Sanford could very well be in there when we look at these at this poll next week.
Last question here, Jay, before we move on to D1. Is there a team that's in danger of dropping out of the top 10? And if there is, why do you think so?
Ursuline lost again yesterday to Sanford. Again, not reflected in the standings, but they're 0-3-1 now out of the gate. They've had the toughest schedule. They played Middletown, they played Appo, they played Sanford, and they played Lake Forest. But sooner or later, you got to start winning those games if you want to be in the rankings. So I think Ursuline could be in trouble. next week of falling out of the top 10 ranking.
All right, so let's move right along to Division I girls soccer now, and nothing has changed at the top of this list. Padua still undefeated at 4-0. They lead off at number 1 this week once again, followed by Caesar Rodney, who jumps up a spot to number 2. And the next 2 teams also jump up, Wilmington Charter and Appoquinimink. Middletown, with their loss, drops down to number 5. 6 through 10 is the same as last week. Henlopen, St. George's, Polytech, Sussex Tech, and Concord. Some scores from last week. Number 1, Padua, really putting it on. Number 7 at Division II, Delmar, 9-0 in that one. Paige Kenton, 3 goals and assist in that one. Ashley Brentlinger, 2 goals and 2 assists. Number 3, of course, we talked DMA, Division II, defeats Division I, that was the number 2 team in Division I, Middletown, 2-1 in overtime in that game. Elise Bonapane, who you talked a little bit about, Mike, had a goal and an assist. So let's move on right here. Let's talk about Padua. They've had such a strong start this season, Jason. They've outscored their opponents 28-0 in 4 matches. How have they been able to stay so dominant?
Well, every year they just keep on rebuilding and rebuilding. Another strong cast this year. We mentioned Paige Kennan had a hat trick the other day. Ashley Brentlinger, 2 goals, 2 assists. She's one of the senior captains on the team. Cam Scully's been great at the back end, playing some solid defense. They're just from top to bottom. They're stacked, and they beat up on their competition so far. Yesterday they played their toughest, and it's not reflected in our thing, but they played their toughest competition. CR got by 2-1, gave up their first goal of the year to CR. So it shows you when they play the tougher teams in the high school rankings, they struggle sometimes. 3-1, low scoring dogfight that they were able to pull out, but. Like I said, they just reload every year, and they got a great coaching staff.
And Mike, we got 2 matchups this week that combine top 5 teams going up against each other. Which games are you looking forward to most this week?
Well, what I'd like to see is Appoquinimink and Padua.
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons. So Padua's, like Jason mentioned, they just got by Caesar Rodney yesterday. Should mention that was their 4th game in 6 days. 2 of those games are in Alabama, so that's a tired team that was out there. But they do play CR tight every time they play. But the Padua and Appo, I want to see this Sophie Marini from Padua. She's a freshman. She's got 7 goals and 3 assists, or 7 goals and 2 assists this year so far. And the junior Kasha Kotz was 9 goals already on the season. So we know Paige Kenton, we know Ashley Brentlinger, we know Brianna Niggerbrug, all these players that we've seen. Here's a couple of newcomers. One's a freshman, one's a junior, that are really stepping up, and I'd like to see them play. And I'd like to see how they play against another top 5 team like Appo, and see how they do keep playing that tough schedule.
So you talked about the Appo Padua game. That'll be at the Hocassa Soccer Club next Monday, 3:30 p.m. A couple other games to keep an eye out for. Newark visiting number 6 Cape Henlopen Saturday, 7 p.m. start there. And number 3 Wilmington Charter will be visiting number 5 Middletown next Monday at 6:30 p.m. And Jay, let's step away from those games for a second. Let's talk about what team has impressed you the most so far this year and why.
The team that impressed me the most is Cape Henlopen. They're off to a great start down there in the Henlopen North. The question is, can they compete with Caesar Rodney? I think they can. They've had an excellent start to the season. They're undefeated. They've moved up from starting the year down to the 9th all the way up to 6th. They continue to be strong. They have a tough schedule coming up, especially the second half of the season. So let's see what they can do against that tough schedule. But they're a team that has impressed me the most so far.
And Mike, this one's for you. What team outside the top 5 can you see making it into the top 5, like we talked about real soon?
You can see St. George is making that jump. They have 3 games before our rankings are done on Monday. So when I was looking at the schedule, the top 10 is not super busy as far as how many teams could make a jump with quality of opponents. But St. George's is one that could. They get Sanford, so that would be a nice test for Sanford and for St. George's, and that could get St. George's into that top 5.
Very quickly, Jay, before we end this segment here, is there a team that should be worried about dropping out of the top 10 next week, maybe with a tough schedule this week, or so on and so forth? Is there anybody at all that's in danger?
Yeah, I would say Concord. They're 0-2. Their 2 losses are to Wilmington Charter and Padua, two teams ranked in the top 3. So they're in danger. They got a couple games this week that they should win. But if they fall short in any one of those games, they can drop out of the top 10.
We'll have to keep an eye out for that one, but that'll wrap up here girls soccer. When we come back from the break, we're going to step out on the diamond. We're going to talk softball, girls softball, coming up after the break right here on 302 Sports Weekly.
Welcome to Hooters. Have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley, cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lowes, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
As a military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
And we're back here, ladies and gentlemen, on 302 Sports Weekly. Catch us here every Wednesday at the Hooters of Newark at 7 o'clock start. Let's move right along here. We have a new #1 team in the softball top 10, and they are the Seahawks of Delaware Military Academy, 5-0 on the season. Then followed up a lot of shakeups in the rankings this week. Caravel at number 2. Wilmington Charter making a huge jump, going from 9 to 3. They're 3-0. Indian River, Lake Forest right out at the top 5, and then your rankings 6 through 10 are Apo, Smyrna, Sussex Tech, and 2 newcomers to the top 10, Sussex Central and Delmar. Milford and Newark Charter dropping out. We'll step in and check over some scores from last week. DMA defeating number 2 Milford. This is a big win for them. 7-1 as Delaney Sheehan pitched a 2-hitter for the Seahawks in that one. Then they followed that win up with a win over number 6 Lake Forest in 12 innings. Ashley Conti with a walk-off in that 12th. Number 9 Wilmington Charter 2-1 over number 1 Indian River. Ashley Steiner walk-off 2-run single to win that one for the Force. And number 1 Indian River did get a win this week, 2-1 over Smyrna in 10 innings. Savannah O'Shield with the RBI single in the top of the 10th of that one. So Jay, seems like every week with these rankings they changed. There was a lot of change in this one. What surprised you maybe the most?
The fact that DMA went 3-0 last week with wins over Archmere, number 2 Milford, and then Lake Forest. Impressive week for DMA. Unbelievable week. They did it pitching, offense. They have it all. They're a complete team. They're going to have some tough tests coming up this week. And then if they survive this week, they got Caravel next week.
Big game.
That could be a possible 1 versus 2 if it falls in line the following Thursday coming up. So big week for DMA, and I think right now they're playing some of the best softball I've seen.
And I just want to say on DMA, our thoughts out to Samantha Freeland, shortstop for DMA, who suffered a broken arm in that game against Lake Forest. She's going to be out for the rest of the season, and she's one of the better shortstops in the state of Delaware and a great player for them. So that's going to be a big loss for DMA moving forward. But Mike, Caravel is 3-0, outscoring their opponents 34-0. What has been the reason behind the Buccaneers' success so far this season?
I mean, we've talked about it before. They're a softball machine down there. The girls, softball players want to go there and want to play. And They have Savannah Sheets, their pitchers, is blowing people away, and they have Cody Dillon as well. The two of them are combining really just to shut people out. That's one of the main reasons. They have 6 8th graders in that team.
Yeah.
So they get the talented kids that want to go play, just like they do in other sports at certain schools. You think softball, you think Caravel, and they're getting a lot of that talent to go there, and they've got a program that just breeds success. And if you see it again this year, it's going to be a good game there tomorrow night.
All 302 Sports.
All 302 Sports, yes.
So here we go. Let's
Caravel
talk
and
about
Indian River. So what they're doing down there is amazing.
Let's talk about some of these games, right? Obviously, we talked that number 4 Indian River visiting Caravel, 6 o'clock tomorrow on 302 Sports. Some other games to keep an eye out for. The number 1 team in the state. You can see them twice this week against 2 tough opponents at Newark Charter tomorrow, 3:45. Later in the week at Padua. That's Friday at 4 o'clock. And then our last big game of the week, number 7, Smyrna, visiting number 3, Wilmington Charter, Tuesday at 3:45. Which one of those games, Jason, intrigues you the most?
I want to see Smyrna Wilmington Charter. Wilmington Charter does the unthinkable last week, upsets them. They got a great pitcher in Antonio Browning, who's having a fantastic year. Stay tuned later in the show. You might hear that name again. They got a nice walk-off win. And then Smyrna, a team that everyone says they lost to Indian River 2-1 in a 10-inning game. But another team that's just flat-out beating teams this year. Good offense, good pitching. So that game on Tuesday at 3:45 is going to be a game that I really want to watch.
And like we talked about for teams that you like making it into the top 10, but now let's ask you, what team do you think might have a chance of falling out of the top 10?
Just a quick look. Maybe Sussex Central. That's a tough. That home look with North is really tough. And I know they're not playing just the North teams, but those teams downstate, you slip up once, they're under 500. So, if anybody, I'd say Sussex Central has a chance, but just we'll have to wait to see when they play the game.
Yeah,
that's it. So let's tune in this week. Go watch these games that you can't get to. Watch on 302 Sports. Of course, tomorrow, Indian River at Caravel. We're stepping aside from the softball, moving into lax. We'll do a little bit of cradling when we come back from the commercial break. We'll see you after this.
You know how to cradle?
And began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools, promotions, gifts for your employees, special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Welcome into 302 Sports Weekly. Let's talk a little bit of lacrosse. You can see the top 10 up on your screen here. The top 6, they're staying put. They're staying the same. No shakeups there. However, bottom half of the rankings, you're going to see a little bit of change. DMA bumps up from 8 to 7. Caravel goes from unranked to number 8. Polytechnic stays at 9. And Tattle joins the top 10 ranks with their 3-0 record. Dropping out will be Dover and Tower Hill this week. Let's talk a little bit about the scores. Number 2, Cape gets a win over number 5, Archmere, 15-9 in that one. Luke D'Ambrosi, 4 goals and 4 assists for the Vikings. It's an impressive performance for him. Number 1, Sally's defeats the Christ School in North Carolina, 9-8. They scored 4 goals to stun the nationally ranked school in North Carolina. Let's go right to the questions here. What does Cape have to do to keep up with Salesianum, and what the Sallies have to do to slow down Cape? They're playing, of course, this week at Wesley, Saturday, 3 p.m. on 302 Sports. What do you see in that one, Jack?
Yeah, and Cape has been Sally's kryptonite with in-state teams. Cape Henlope been the last 2 state champions other than Salesianum in the last 10 years. So it's been Sally's and Cape. Cape is a great defensive team, and they're going to have to keep it low. Scoring, I think, to have a chance against Salesianum. But Cape's offense put up 15 against Archmere the other night. I was surprised by them scoring 15 on Archmere like that. Luke D'Angelo, he had a hot game there for Cape Henlope. Question is, they got to play a great contest. They have to win the ground balls, and they have to dominate the face-offs if they want a chance against Salesianum.
All right, Mike, shifting to a different matchup. Well, actually, we're going to have a Twitter question. We had our Twitter question sent out today.
Oh, man, Twitter question.
All right. It's not me today, fellas. It's not me today.
Our Twitter question. Hey, it's Twitter Ryan.
It's Twitter Ryan.
Hey, man, let's turn the microphone toward him, man. He's making his debut on it today, 2 Sports News.
Tell me how it is.
How you doing, guys? So we sent out a tweet today, see who would win the spotlight game, I guess. And it seems like you guys think Salesianum's going to win by 57% to Cape, who got 43% on our Twitter poll.
Wow.
Guess we'll find out Saturday at Wesley, huh?
Yeah. Thanks very much, Ryan.
Ryan. That is Ryan Colasanti. Ryan is a freshman right up the hill at St. Mark's. Thanks, Ryan.
Another Spartan added to the group. We just need that Spartans around here.
Somewhere Benny smiling.
That's
it. Benny who?
Thanks again, Ryan. So there you have it. The people have spoken.
They have spoken, and there's still plenty of time to vote on that poll.
Yes, there is.
History has been, our fans have usually been right. I mean, I don't want to say anything.
We got smart fans, Nick.
Historically, they've been good.
Yeah.
So, Mike, we talked about Cape and Sally's. Now we're going to shift to another matchup. St. Mark's and Caesar Rodney.
Yeah.
They're also playing at Wesley, Nick, real quick. They're playing the same thing, 7 o'clock immediately following that game on 302 Sports.
So another great matchup there. And we've taken some heat from St. Mark's on social media, the cross team. So what do they have to do to beat Caesar Rodney?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've seen Caesar Rodney's lacrosse team. It looks like the WWE superstar roster, man. These guys are huge. They're a huge team, and they score a lot. So here's a name you want to remember for St. Mark's. Kevin Groves. He's their keeper. He's going to have to stand on his head if the Spartans have a chance. The other thing for St. Mark's, they got to get back into game condition. They played 1 game all year. They have not played since March.
Wow.
They play tomorrow, so they have a little warm-up before Saturday. But, you get tired of playing each other up there on the hill.
Yeah.
So they've got to get back into that game mindset, and they're going to need Kevin Groves to have the game of his season. Because Caesar Rodney's big, and they're fast, and they just run over people. So they're going to use some speed and some goaltending to get this one done.
So we talked about those 2 games you're going to see here on 302 Sports Saturday down at Wesley. A couple other games to keep an eye out on. Number 7, DMA visiting number 8, Carroll. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m. Get out there if you can. And number 10, Tatnall will be visiting number 4, Friends, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Jay, last question here. Tatnall and Caravel, they make the top 10 this week. What do they have to do to stay there as the newcomers?
And they both have a tough game out of the stretch. DMA comes to Caravel. DMA is a good team. Their 2 losses are to Friends and to Archmere. So they've had a good season so far. That's going to be a tough matchup for Caravel, but they are home, and I've seen crazy things happen, so maybe they can pull off the upset and stay in the top 10. Tackle gets the Friends, which is number 4.
Yeah, it's a tough game.
And that's a tough matchup for them. But if they just came off a nice win at Tower Hill, so they're a good team, and a team that I think will stay in the top 10 for a little bit.
So there you have it. Lacrosse, all wrapped up for you, ready to go for the week. Get out there, check in those games on Saturday. Big lacrosse matchups across the state. We're going to step off the field here. We're going to come back and go back to the dime and talk a little baseball top 10 after the break.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvement's pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
And we're back here, ladies and gentlemen, right here at the Hooters in Newark for 302 Sports Weekly. And you're looking right now at the top 10 rankings in baseball. Not many shakeups. One big shakeup you see is Salesianum falls from number 3 down to number 10, and Caesar Rodney joins the top 10 at number 9. Everybody else just moves up a spot for the most part. So Indian River, of course, dropped out. That's how you get Caesar Rodney. And there's some scores from last week. Number 2, Cape gives up a run somehow. They defeat Middletown 4-2. Austin Elliott with a solo home run, and David Erickson, 5 innings, only allowed the 1 run while striking out 8. Number 4, St. Mark's takes care of number 6, Apo, 4-1 in that one. JT Tomovich hits a 2-run triple as St. Mark's scores all 4 runs in the 3rd inning of that one. Number 5, Hodson, they get my Vikings to St. East 5-4. Donnie Weaver, walk-off single for the Silver Eagles. And Newark Charter gets a win, number 2-1 over number 3, Salesianum in that one. The Patriots pitching struck out 16, you heard that right, 16 Salesianum batter Zach Wynn, a solo home run for the Souths. Now, there were a couple more upsets that happened yesterday, Jason, and they're of course not reflected into the rankings, but Hodson, Middletown, Conrad, St. Mark's all lost, with Middletown and St. Mark's losing to ranked teams. What has caused some of these upsets, Jay? Is there more parity within the state this year, maybe?
It's 2 things. The parity is definitely one of them, but pitching. With all these rainouts, now all of a sudden you're playing 3 games in 4 days, 4 games in 5 days, and because there's a pitch count, if you pitch more than 20 pitches, you're ineligible the next day. So if you're playing back-to-back days, your ace might not be able to pitch again. So you have to have depth pitching, and the teams that have the depth right now have been doing the damage. But these other teams like Hodson gets shut down to William Penn, which was a surprise to me. But it's that time of year with all the rainouts that we had earlier. Now all these teams that are playing consecutive days. It's hard to keep up with your arms.
And Mike, and so we talked about some teams that have lost recently, and there are a lot of good teams in there we talked about. Which one of those teams that have lost most recently do you see bouncing back?
Well, this team actually won most recently, but I'm saying Newark Charter.
Yeah.
And not because we're here with Nick McCulley here as one of the assistant coaches. They beat a really good Salesian. The Sal's team's a good team. They struck them out 16 times.
That's impressive.
Excuse me.
There's only 18 outs in high school baseball.
There's
21. You're right. Still.
Yeah. But the Patriots are better than 1-4. They struggled early, but I think a game like they had the other day against Sally's is the kind of game that can really turn your season around and get you going in the right track. They only have one game. They play between now and the 19th. They play DMA, so that's going to be a tough one.
Man.
But after that, and then if they can beat DMA, that'd be great. And they have a nice stretch of games where they can really get back over 500, maybe get back into our rankings.
The Riders last year, Jay, they were 7-11. Right? They were just your run-of-the-mill baseball program, and that's what their record was the last 2 seasons. This year, hot out at the start here, 6-1 this year. They're now in our top 10 rankings. What's the cause of their recent success to start the year off?
Their hitting is unbelievable. From 1 through 9, they all get on base. They work counts really well. The other night against Newark Charter, they drew 4 or 5 walks, a couple of hits batter, and then all of a sudden their big guys come up with the bases loaded, and they know how to clean off the bases and drive everybody in, and that's what makes them such a great team. I don't think even their loss, they lost to number 5 Hodson, 12-11. So their only loss, they still scored 11 runs in the game and just fell short. So I think they're a team that hitting-wise, but the last 2 years they were 7-11 both years. This year they already have 6 wins, so They're sitting pretty right now, halfway through the season.
So they got WWE superstars on the lacrosse field, and then they got huge power hitters on the diamond as well. So
I don't know what's in the
CR
water down there in Kendall, Wyoming.
You're like, what do they put in the water
Yeah.
now? So we have some good matchups coming up this week. Hodson at St. Mark's Saturday at 1.
Yep.
Cape Henlopen at Apo Saturday at 11. That's number 2 versus number 6. And then number 4 Hodson at number 1 Caravel on Tuesday. Which matchup are you most looking forward to this week, Mike?
Well, I love baseball, so all of them. I'm going to go outside the top 10. The game that I found, I was pouring through the schedule last night. Friends at Red Lion playing coming up.
Okay.
Friends is still 5-1. They lost by 2 runs to Concord. Red Lion is 4-0. So you have 2 teams that could possibly crack that top 10 at some point. And they're teams that we maybe aren't paying attention to as much, but they're decent teams and pretty evenly matched. So that's a game I would like to see. Excuse me. Red Lions coming off a game against Middletown before they play this one. So it's going to be that will be their toughest game to date. But I think that Friends Red Lion game could be a very entertaining one to watch.
All right, Jay, to wrap up baseball, you give us a game that you're really looking forward to this week.
Well, I can't wait for that Hodson Caravel game on Tuesday. That's going to be a dandy. Caravel beat St. Mark's yesterday in a high-scoring 10-7 game. When's the last time anyone scored 10 runs on the St. Mark's pitching staff? Probably a long, long time ago. So Caravel has the bats and they can hit. Hodson, same thing. Hodson scores a lot of runs. They struggled against William Penn, again, not reflected in our standings. But I think they were saving some of those pitchers that they have for that Caravel game. So they also got St. Mark's on Saturday. So two teams in the top 3 on back-to-back days. So I think they saved some of their pitching.
So there we have it. We're wrapping up high school sports here. Talked about everything. Baseball, as you can see, got some crazy stuff going on, and the weather's finally starting to break up, so we're going to get some games actually played. We're going to step aside here, quick commercial break. We're going to come back. Me and Nick, Alice, and Drini going to talk a little college sports with you after the break.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley. Cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
And began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2000. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
And let's wrap this thing up here, Nick, Alice, and Jeannie, right here on 302 Sports Weekly. Let's hop in to some college sports. What do you got here in the world of Goldie baseball?
We're going to get it going with some Goldie baseball, Pat. And Goldie Beacon found a hot spot in a pair of dominant Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference wins at Concordia, 10-4 and 12-5. Zach Roseman from Tadnall went 3 for 4, 4 RBIs and 3 runs scored, ended a 4-run 7th inning with a 2 RBI homer over the left field wall, putting the Lightning up 9-2. Trevor Jump from Mount Pleasant, the freshman from Wilmington, grasped the win, pitching 5 innings while allowing 2 earned runs and striking out 7 batters. Goldie Beacon returns to the Diamond on Wednesday versus Felician. The CACC doubleheader is scheduled to begin with a noon start at Doyle Field in Hocus, Delaware.
Let's hop over some Lightning softball. It's a brisk day at the Jackson Athletic Complex as the softball team got swept by East Stroudsburg 4-0 and 11-6. They will return to play Thursday up at Westchester, doubleheader scheduled for 2:30 p.m.
Up and now over to UD baseball. Delaware freshman Billy Sullivan from St. Mark's took a no-hitter into the 5th inning Sunday, but a 2-out single by Hofstra's Austin Gauthier ended Sullivan's no-no bid. The righty pitched 4.2 innings, allowing just 1 hit and a pair of runs. He struck out 8 batters. The game remained tied at 2 as Hofstra and Delaware traded zeros until the top of the 10th when the Blue Hens struck for the final 3 runs of the game. Kyle Baker from Charter went 2 for 5 with a run scored. Calvin Scott, another Spartan, went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs to lead the Blue Hens. Delaware returns to action Wednesday afternoon for the semifinals of the Liberty Boat Classic.
That's it. First pitch will be scheduled for 3 p.m. and everyone will check that out. Let's talk a little bit of UD softball here. James Madison hit 4 home runs as the Dukes posted a 13-1 victory in 5 innings over the UD softball team Sunday. They will next take on the in-state rival, Delaware State, April 11th. That's a 3 p.m. first pitch there.
Now Wilmington softball. The 7th inning comeback fell just short for the Wilmington softball team as they dropped the Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference makeup game against Holy Family 7-6. Rosalind Burton from Cesar Rodney went 2 for 4 with a triple, while Annie DeVia went 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Jordan Burton from Cape Henlopen went 2 for 4 with a triple and 2 RBIs as well. The Wildcats return to action on Wednesday when they take on the University of the Sciences in another CACC double tip. So the first pitch of that doubleheader is scheduled for 2:30.
There you go. Wilmu baseball up next. By the way, you will see them next week right here on 302 Sports Weekly, so hang around for that. Baseball team got back to town in the win column on Friday. They swept Chestnut Hill in a conference doubleheader, 8-6 and 6-4. In game 1 of that one, Brooks Ryan went 2 for 4 with a bomb, 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Kendall Small, formerly of Dover, 3 for 5, 2 RBIs, while Max Carney of Concord had 2 hits as well. Brett Knoll from Conrad, 1 for 3, 2 RBIs in that one. Then in game 2, you got Kendall Small of Dover going 2 for 4 with a triple and an RBI. He went 5 for 9, including a triple and 3 RBIs through those 2 games. That's an impressive total for him. They will be back in action Wednesday, April 11th, when they return to Philly to face U Sciences in another conference division clash. First pitch will be at Richie Ashburn Field, 1 p.m., and then they'll be down here for 302 Sports Weekly.
Make sure to check it out again. Now Wilmington lacrosse, a 3-goal spurt in the 4th quarter allowed Post to separate itself from the Wilmington University men's lacrosse team as the Wildcats fell 9-5. Corey Melvin from Hodson led the Wildcats with 2 goals and an assist, while John Howe from DMA led the team with 6 ground balls and 3 caused turnovers. Noah Given from Appoquinimink made 9 saves to go along with his first collegiate assist for the Wildcats. The final 4 games for the Wildcats are all CACC contests as they welcome George Jude Court for their next game, and that is set for Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
Wesley baseball, they had a tough one, 14-0. They lost to Salisbury this past week, and they're going to look to rebound though, Nick. They head to Southern Maryland on Thursday to take on St. Mary's. First pitch set for 3:30 p.m.
Now Wesley softball. The Wesley softball team suffered a doubleheader sweep to the Salisbury Seagulls in a Capital Athletic Conference doubleheader, 9-2 in Game 1 and 11-3 in Game 2. Megan DeRubio from Polytech led Wesley, going 3 for 6 with an RBI and a run scored during the losses. Wolverines will hit the road to battle the Southern Virginia Knights in a CAC doubleheader on Saturday, and that will start at 1 p.m.
Go to Wesley lacrosse here. The men's lacrosse team suffered an 11-2 loss at home to Frostburg, and they're going to try and finish up the 3-game homestand Wednesday as they take on Marymount. Face-off set for 7 p.m. in that one there. Nick.
Newman softball. The Newman University softball team dropped a pair of non-conference games at Stockton University on Monday afternoon by scores of 5-4 and 11-3. In the first game, Kirsten Fowlers from Padua scored the first run for the Knights after she doubled and scored an RBI single by Jackie Schneider. In the third inning, Fowlers hit a 2-run home run, scoring Rachel Albertson. The Fowlers finished 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. In Game 2, she went 1 for 3 with another run scored. On the day, she went 4 for 6, 2 RBIs and 3 runs scored, and she accounted for 5 of the 7 runs that Newman had in the doubleheader.
Let's check in on Sammy Mumford, formerly of Indian River. She plays with softball at Salisbury as they pick up that sweep like we talked about in the doubleheader. 3 for 5 with a double, a triple, and a run scored to add 3 RBIs as well.
So we'll stick to softball now. Widener University softball. the Pride swept the doubleheader from Eastern, winning Game 1 8-0 in 5 innings before claiming the nightcap 4-2 on Monday. Widener got on the board in the opening frame as Lindsey Cooper led off with a walk and moved to second on a sacrifice. Katie Sterling from St. George's singled her home for a 1-0 lead. She went 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Sterling went 3 for 5 with a home run, 1 RBI, and 1 run scored in the doubleheader.
Moving on, Rider University baseball, they dropped both ends of the doubleheader, but we're going to check in on Brennan McAllister, formerly of Middletown. He had his 3rd straight 2-hit game of the series in that one. Against Fairfield over the weekend, he went 6 for 10. It was also his 4th multi-hit game of the year.
Now Notre Dame across. Number 10 Notre Dame was never able to find a rhythm in the attack against number 5 Duke, falling by a score of 8-2 at a sold-out Arlotta Stadium on Saturday. Freshman Mikey Drake from Salesiana made the first start of his Notre Dame career. Let 302 Sports be the first to congratulate Mikey, and here's to many more goals for his career at Notre Dame.
That's it. Hey, go Irish on that one for Mikey Drake. All right, let's go. Quick commercial break. We're going to come back. Players of the week and top 5 plays right here on 302 Sports Weekly.
Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
No matter where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
No matter where you are.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 homebuyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time homebuyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today.
We're back here, ladies and gentlemen, at 302 Sports Weekly. Hey, look, we got to throw it out, Benny.
Yeah, we
got to throw it out, Benny. Let's wrap it up here with some players of the week. First off, for the girls, co-players of the week this week, Ashley Steiner, a sophomore for Wilmington Charter, and Antonia Browning, senior for Wilmington Charter. Steiner went 3 for 4, including the walk-off 2-run single with 2 outs, as the force stunned top-ranked Indian River 2-1 in that one. Browning in that game performed very well. Allowed only 1 run on 3 hits while striking out 7, so congrats to them.
Yeah, now for our boys player of the week, it's Luke D'Ambrogi from Cape Henlopen. We talked about him earlier. He scored 9 goals and dished out 5 assists in a pair of wins. He scored 5 goals and 1 assist in a 16-4 win over Dover. Then he scored 4 goals and dished out 4 more assists in a 15-9 win over number 5 Archmere. So congrats to Luke.
All right, now it's time for what everybody really enjoys the most here, our top 5 plays of the week. Let's get this thing rolling. Number 5, Nate Thomas, my former Viking.
You've seen him before.
Boom, leadoff triple in this game as he rips one down the line, and look at him go. State champion in basketball, and you can see right here on the home field at Wilson Field at Wilmington University, legging out that triple as Thomas leads off that inning well.
Brady Dalton from Archmere, he's going to be in left field. Look at this shot. It's a laser out to left field. It's getting down. No, it's not. There he is. A diving catch in left field.
That'll get you on top. That'll get you on top plays.
Yeah.
Number 3, Colin Jensen, the diving stop in the out for Archmere. A lot of big plays in this one here. As you can see, Jensen here laying out, get up, boom. That's impressive. Gets the out.
at second base. And that gets it big out there for the auction. Fantastic play.
Number 2, Kyle Comades from CR. This is CR Newark Charter. He's up the left. He takes it to right field, deep right field. Not quite out, but it will get down in the corner. And that's going to clear the bases, Pat, as well. So a base clearing triple for him, and that's number 2.
And here we go, our top play of the week coming up. That's, first of all, great hustle to get to third base on that one. Number 1, Jonathan Golubowski, the 2-run bomb for DMA. Look at this thing. That's what they call a moonshot, ladies and gents. Straight. Look at that. It goes, you can't even see where it landed. That ball had a stewardess on it and an in-flight movie. That's impressive, man.
That was a nice shot.
He rounds the, I have no idea what that feels like to round the bases like that. That's just impressive. So there it is. Top 5 plays of the week ends with a home run. A couple live streams to keep an eye out for this week. Softball and 2 lacrosse games. Indian River facing number 2 Caraval. That's tomorrow at 6, the softball matchup. And of course the 2 lacrosse games, both down at Wesley College. Number 2 Cape Henlopen versus number 1 Sally's. That'll kick it off 3 o'clock. And then St. Mark's will take on CR at 7. So Nick, thanks
Great matchups. Great show today. Special thanks to Isri, Naya, and Ray Jones for coming on. Special thanks to Ryan for being Twitter on
that's
Twitter.
what to say. Ryan with the debut today.
Great show, though. Great show.
Well done. We'll see you next week. Ben will be back. Oh, yeah. Nah, just kidding. We'll see you next week.